Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the utmost character of our world around us, and this time we will talk about madness of revolution. And of course there were English civil wars, also attempts of revolution, Mr. Cromwell, Lord Protector, later restoration of the English throne, so the monarchy, and we see that later was this practically peaceful revolution of 1689, and somehow England is still better or worse functioning till today. But the real revolution that started all of these problems we have now was French Revolution from 1789, which in contrast to this, what Marxist propaganda is saying, exploded in the country with the high level of autonomy, because the Louis XV, known also as Beloved One, didn't allow agents of the state and agents of the church to infiltrate more the saloons of discussions, different clubs, or even masonry that was very young institutions those days, and was agitating among degraded aristocrats living in cities and quickly money making people of different origins, mainly social origins, of course, mainly the inhabitants of the cities that were simply making money and money minding merchants. So merchants who had some money and degraded aristocrats who were living in cities were in 18th century creating all around Europe, especially in France, discussion groups and some other more or less secret societies also that were discussing how to improve the world. And at the end of the day, all of their activity erupted in 1789, and with different versions of the French Revolution, we have to torment ourselves till today. Because all leftist movements, all revolutionary movements actually came from this moment and from these times. Even the concept, surprisingly, of nation was created during French Revolution. And against the nation, in March 1793, the uprising in Vandia of peasants and many inhabitants of the cities of Vandia started against the National Assembly and against the nation. Because what really happened when revolutionary France had its wars with all of the countries around? Of course, the recruits were needed. But during the previous ancient regime, so Bourbon monarchy, the villages were having some obligation towards monarchy, but one or two guys from the village were conscripted. Sometimes the villages could even pay additional money for these inhabitants, one or two, not to be conscripted, or they could make a deal with other villages that now maybe more guys from you will be conscripted later, more guys from our village will be conscripted to the royal armies. So we see that the level of autonomy and freedom, in contrast to this what Marxists are saying, especially on a local level, was much higher. But when revolutionary thinkers figure out the concept of nation, they introduce also massive conscription, massive army of citizens serving for free actually. This is also another another detail that many leftist apologists especially tend to omit in their apologies of French Revolution. And these people in Vandia rised against it, and maybe the main phase of the uprising was not very long, but last fightings in Vandia with the remaining partisan units of the partisans ended up in 1800, and there was a first documented genocide, French genocide in Vandia, where when the government forces were simply doing ethnic cleansing, yes, French people on French people, to break the resistance of the people of Vandia. And the funny thing is that people of Vandia, despite the fact that they raised for monarchy and king and previous law and privileges, they were also asking for equal treatment by the government, because of course some groups of people and some provinces were treated in a different way than others. And we know that, like in every parliamentarism democracy, as Orwell's formulated it once, some pigs are more equal than the others. And we have all of these problems till now. That's why it's good to remember the uprising in Vandia, which started on the 10th of March 1793. And remember, first organized and performed genocide in a leftist way, really the worst leftist communistic way, because it's genocide against your own people, your own nation, your own neighbors. You are not fighting with the external enemy, you are fighting against your own people. So this is the worst type of the genocide that can be committed. We should remember that. Of course, now there are many good books about Vandia, but the classical one is the book by Mr. Sachet, Vandia, the French genocide. I really recommend you to read it. And of course, there are in different countries like considerations about the civil war by Mr. Paweł Jasienica. I think maybe it was translated into English because Jasienica is quite popular Polish writer. It was the last of his books he finished. It was published in 1969, a year before his death. So we need to remember the beginnings of all of these movements and why it happened to understand our reality and why leftist madness progresses. Because all already was there. If we read the history of French Revolution, we see that there is nothing new under the sun with respect to stupid idea of our leftists activists. All the best, have a nice day, bye.